Hello, this is Apocalypse Tours. Welcome, this is the first live stream. Hello, YouTube. Hello to everybody. Hope you're doing well. Been wanting to do this for some time. You're getting my cherry. It's my first live stream. A little bit nervous. As I was saying before in the first failed attempt, I've been a DJ. I've stood in clubs, played music to people in clubs. That used to terrify me. I've done open mic. I've done stand-up comedy. I've been on stage. Terrifies me. I've been on the radio. I did a radio show for a time. Actually, I enjoyed that. It didn't scare the hell out of me because nobody was looking at me. This has got me a little bit nervous. This is my first live stream. If you've seen any of the videos so far on the channel, hopefully you're seeing like a rate of progression. Hope things are getting better. I'm learning how to use stuff. Learn how to use the equipment. I didn't think this live stream was going to happen. This $300 laptop is, we're pushing it as far as she'll go, Captain. She can't take any more. All of her holes are filled at the moment. She's like something off of Pornhub. All her holes are filled, and yeah, we're working it to the max, but we have to work with what we've got, and that's what we've got. So hello, this is Apocalypse Tours coming at you live and direct from Southeast Asia. It's Sunday right now. It's Sunday morning, 12 hours in your future, US. And hello of anybody who's picking this up from the motherland. Hello to the Orwell Island. Hello to the good people of the UK. Good morning. Yes, I'm quite a few hours in your future. What time is it here? It's about 10 in the morning. 9:30 in the morning. 9:30 in the morning right now. So you can go to bed tonight safe in the knowledge that we do make it to tomorrow morning. That's how time works, right? It's just, I'm just experiencing everything sooner because I'm on a different side of the planet. That's how it works, right? Maybe you can explain to me. Can somebody explain to me the concept of time? In the comment section. I had loads of stuff to say. You know, your mind starts to go blank. I'm normally quite on it. I got some notes. I got myself a few notes. But what basically happened was I put a video out yesterday, and you guys started watching, and I noticed the subscriber count had gone up, and I realized I was in a position to go live. So I was sitting down. I was trying to prepare a podcast to record later on today, and I thought, you know what? You just gotta go. You just gotta do it. It's like when I put the first video out, I procrastinated for about 4 years, maybe 5. I regret every minute of those years of procrastination now, because one day I just woke up, I made a video, it wasn't any good, I just put it out, and then I watched it back, and then immediately I wanted to make better videos. And there you go, you're on the road, you started doing it. So I just thought, hey, live stream. It's like pulling a plaster off, right? It's like pulling a band-aid off. I'm trying to speak English and American at the same time. It's like pulling a plaster off. It's like pulling a band-aid off. You just gotta do that. The more you think about it, the worse it's gonna be, and it's never gonna happen. So here we are. We're live streaming. Oh, that's how many minutes I've been streaming for. I've been streaming for 7 minutes. Okay. Anyway. Let me tell you a little bit about me. Just in case you're interested to know. We'll do that in a moment. Hopefully someone starts watching. Yeah, so as I was saying yesterday, well, I woke up this morning because I'm 12 hours ahead of you guys in the States. I'm 7 hours ahead of the good people of the Orwell Island in the UK. So while I was sleeping, you guys were watching. And I've become a bit obsessed. So I check the YouTube figures when I wake up in the morning. And I saw that thousands of people had watched the video. And people were subscribing. So I thought I'd jump on. Just got to warn you. I'm living in a really low rent building right now. I'm out here in Southeast Asia. I was pretty much homeless in my own country, and I managed to get out here to Southeast Asia. And I'm living in some very humble dwellings, should we say. I'm living in a very local community at the moment, and there's construction going on in the building. I think they're renovating the room directly underneath me. And that's what's been going on for the last couple of days. So if we suddenly hear the sound of drilling and banging, which does sound like it's in the same room as me when it happens, I'm going to have to end the stream. I'm sorry to say. Hopefully, the rules of Sunday apply and the rules of Sunday morning apply, and, people will take a day off. But I doubt it very much. I'm very doubtful on this matter. So I might have to end the stream and just get out of here. Because who wants to listen to the sound of construction in the morning? It's hot as hell today as well. It's the hottest time of the year here in Asia. I'm in Southeast Asia right now. I'm just currently in Bangkok in Thailand, and it's hot as hell. It's 35 degrees plus nearly every day right now. Heading for 40, which is over 100 in your Fahrenheit. This is the time of year you just don't want to go out anywhere. You just want to sit in a room in the AC and just kind of do nothing. But once the construction starts, you gotta go out. You gotta go out. Luckily, there's a little camera. I got a little camera, making some videos. Gonna be putting them up quite soon. I recorded the audio for one yesterday, shot some film. A little bit of an introduction to life out here in Southeast Asia. So please subscribe to the channel if you're just finding this. Please drop me a sub. We're out in Thailand at the moment, in Bangkok. We'll be moving around. Be going on tour. Showing you some different parts of the world. Chatting about pop culture. Chatting about travel. Chatting about life. Chatting about music. The things that I'm interested in. The things that I'm into. I'm into pop culture, music, living life, and just traveling around. And don't worry, not going to be making any of those travel vlogs where I'm like showing you Chinatown and going, everything's amazing. Not into that. I'm into comic book stores, art galleries, record shops, freaky things, interesting places, and just local life. So gonna try and bring something a bit interesting, a little bit fresh. Gonna mix it all up a bit. This isn't just about pop culture and Shrek and TV and entertainment. There's also some great movie theatres out here. I'm enjoying touring around the movie theatres at the moment. There was a video went up last week. Sorry the audio was a bit out on that. Just working on that at the moment. There was a video went up last week. Just went to see John Wick 4 in a really beautiful movie theatre in Bangkok. Just shot a bit of film and told you a little bit about life getting there. It cost me $3 to watch this movie. John Wick 4 in a really nice theatre for $3. Check that out. It's on the channel at the moment. Really enjoyed making that video. I'm just getting used to using the editing software. I've only been using it for a couple of months, so I'm learning new things every day. I'm blind as a bat, not got the best peepers in the world. So it's taken me a bit of time to get used to this. I work with all this magnification software on the screen, so I get a quarter of the screen and not all of it. So there's stuff I've been missing, but now I'm seeing it. So, I'm getting there. We're getting there, people. We're getting there. All right, what's going on in the world right now? Is it still Ramadan? Is Ramadan still going on? If you're observing Ramadan at the moment, and salam alaikum. I hope everything's going good for you. I observed Ramadan myself a few years ago. I was in Egypt during Ramadan. It was incredibly interesting. Yeah, I was in a little town in Egypt called Hurghada, staying in this little one room for a month. It's a really cheap room. It cost me about I think it was $100 for the month. Had a little swimming pool outside. It was, in Egypt, there's no water supply into the buildings. So twice a day, you'll get this big truck turning up. It's like, the trucks that go to the gas stations, the petrol stations, and they deliver the gasoline, the petrol. It's one of those big tanker truck would pull up twice a day. And this big hose had come out, and there was this big water storage unit outside the building, and they'd fill this storage tank up with water. Anyway, my cheap $100 a month room was right next to that water storage tank. So at 8 a.m. every morning, I'd get woke up to the sound of... The room would literally shake to this thing. That's why the room was so cheap, I think. I didn't notice this. I remember seeing the room and looking out. It was on the ground floor, and there was like a little glass door you could open to go out onto the balcony. It was a tiny little balcony, and I remember standing there when I was arranging to rent the room, looking at the lady and looking at this big kind of square brick structure and thinking, what is that? And the first morning, the room started shaking. I think it was 7 or 8 a.m. when this thing started. The room would just start shaking, and I jumped out of bed. I opened the curtains. I saw this big tanker there. I was like, oh, right, yeah, that's what that big brick structure is. That's where the water goes. Okay. So twice a day for a month. I think it was 7 in the morning and then 6 at night. Dun, 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 dun. In came the water. But it was Ramadan when I was there. I think about a week in, 2 weeks in, it became Ramadan, and Egypt is very much a Muslim country, and everything stopped in the daytime. There was no shops open. It was kind of a tourist town where I was living, but I wasn't surrounded by mass tourism. It was towards the end of it was kind of slap bang in the middle of pandemic times. So there weren't really any tourists there. All the tourist stuff was closed down. I was living with the locals. And all the shops and places you'd normally eat through the day. Of course, it was Ramadan, so they were all closed. So you found yourself observing Ramadan with the locals because, firstly, you had no choice, and second, you get some props. You get a little bit of respect if you're just someone like me who's just turned up in town and you start observing the local customs. I had some really interesting chats with people on a spiritual basis, talking religion, just sat outside tea shops and saying, well, I'm not Muslim, I'm not Christian. Here are my beliefs, and really had a fantastic time out there, really did. So anyone from Egypt watching, or anyone been to Egypt, hello. And if you're observing Ramadan right now, if it still is, I think it is. I'm not too sure. I should have checked the calendar before I started having this conversation. But if it still is, inshallah, and yeah, have a good day, All right. Nobody's watching. Maybe you all. Maybe someone will watch this at a later time. Maybe if you're watching this at a later time on the repeat, I really need to go to the toilet. You just really need to pee. I got up this morning. There's a little market. There's a little market just outside of where I'm staying, sort of close to the riverbank. There's a little market appears on the riverbank this morning. I just went to get some broccoli and some carrots. Been eating too much meat recently, so I'm trying to get my veg. And I found these really weird looking poppy. I'll show you one. It's going to be hard to look at this and not eat. I just saw these little things on the market and was like, what are they? It's like some weird kind of poppy seed, and I don't know what's going on with it. I thought I'll try one of those. I just had one before the stream started, and oh, it's delicious. Really crunchy. You know, you're eating something really crunchy, and it just like potato chips, right? And you're like, ooh, you get a bit addictive. I can see them. They're on the other table. They're just out the corner of my eye. I can see them, and I just want to eat them. Don't think eating on the stream is crunch, crunch, crunch. Eating something on the crunchy on the stream probably is a bit of a faux pas. I imagine someone's got something to say about that somewhere. You're eating on the stream, crunching on the stream. No. No. This is not what you're allowed to do. Anyway. Yeah, I really do need to pee. Anyway, I got my first coffee of the day. Like I say, I just woke up and thought, you know, we can stream. Let's give this a go. Why not? So here we are. I hope the audio's okay. You got to run the AC or the fan, and the fan's more noisy than the AC, so I've decided to go with the AC. So, and for anyone who's a bit technical, I've managed to put a noise gate on the microphone so it keeps some of the noise out. So, I hope everything sounds okay for you. Let me know in the comments. And as I was saying, if anyone knows how any of this stuff works, please reach out to me on Twitter at Apocalypse Tours. I'd love to hear from you. If anyone knows how, just I'm the wrong side of 40 or the right side of 40. It depends which way you want to look at it. But I'm on a side of 40, which is over. I'm not the best with computers. I'm blind as a bat. Really. I know people say, oh, I'm half blind. Well, I'm kind of 3/4 blind. So, if anyone's got a clue, yeah, please hit me up. I have more questions than I have answers with regards to this live streaming and YouTube thing. I kind of fell into this by accident. People have been saying to me for a while, you should do that YouTube thing. And I was like, oh, okay. And I had a job teaching. I had 2 jobs teaching English online, and I managed to lose them both. And both of them actually, I thought were quite unjust. I thought I was kind of unfairly treated, should we say. I lost one for refusing to talk about my sex life with a student. Yeah, I know. And I lost the other one for I'm really obsessed by propaganda, and I find propaganda and marketing extremely interesting because most of what we see in life is based around the principles of propaganda and marketing. And I was doing these lessons and they're all based on reading news stories. really bad news stories, just the worst possible news. A few of the students didn't like the fact that I kind of steered away from the lesson and tried to, you know, teach them something a bit more interesting. So I managed to lose 2 jobs very quickly. Yeah, people have been saying to me, you should do that YouTube thing. You should do that YouTube thing. You live an interesting life. You're good at talking. Don't do that YouTube thing. So this is me giving it a go. Just trying to get by, people. Trying to put some food on the table. Here we are. Oh yeah, I forgot to loop this, didn't I? Hang on, I'm gonna have to do something. Let me try and do this. Let me try and do this live. Okay. Because I made these little loops that go out on the TV thing below. I'm making some new ones at the moment because I don't really like these, but I managed to I forgot to loop it. There we go. I think there's a bit of end roll on the tape as well, which needs editing out. I have to do that. I'm working on those. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. It's not as easy as I thought this. I honestly thought you just plug a microphone in and start talking. It's not that easy. There's a lot to do. All this research and making the studio, and you know, I believe you should market these videos once you've made them. You should try and promote them a little bit, but try and find the time for that. You might join me on Twitter right now. I got 45 followers, so if you want to come on board, I'd love that. What I'm going to try and do is anybody who comes into these streams pretty new, reach out to me on Twitter. And as this thing grows, I'm going to make sure I look after you. I promise you. I promise you. I just noticed someone's watching. If you just tuned in, you just missed all the interesting stuff. No, I'm joking. I've just been talking about staying in Egypt and having a giant water tanker wake me up at 6 o'clock every morning. Anyway, how you doing? Live and direct from Bangkok in Southeast Asia. This is Apocalypse Tours. I'm going to try not to look at that little subscriber count thing because it's distracting me. It really is. I went to bed last night. I'm 12 hours in the future of the US. I'm about 7 hours in the future of the good people of the George Orwell Island in the UK. Good morning to you. Well, good night to you. And it's the morning here. It's about 10 a.m. and I woke up and people have been watching one of my videos. It's like, what? The subscriber count just jumped through the roof. I was like, what's going on here? Where do these thousands of people come from? And I've been wanting to do this for a long time, so I kind of just I set the stream going. Finally allowed to stream on YouTube. So good morning to you. Yeah, the video that seems to be doing well at the moment is the spoilers for Picard, episode 8. I've not put my review out yet. I was reviewing it by the episode. I got to episode 5 and was like, you know, I'm not enjoying doing these reviews episode by episode. I like to do a chunk of them together. So I want to wait till next week's done and then do 6, 7. Yeah, 6, 7, and 8 together, and then we've got the last 2, haven't we? I'm loving that show right now. It's fantastic. Trek is back. Fantastic. So happy. Anyway, so good morning. If it's your night time, we make it to the morning. We make it to the morning. Don't worry. Just a little bit of a recap there. And yeah, I'm in Bangkok in Southeast Asia right now. Some very humble dwellings. If the AC is distracting, please let me know. It's either that or the fan. If I turn them both off, it's a beautifully silent environment to make videos, but it very quickly gets to 100 degrees plus, and I turn red. I turn into like a red thing, start sweating like crazy. What's the fish? Is it a lobster? Is it? It's the one you boil in water. Is that the lobster? I look like a lobster, and just sweat just rings from me. That's what happened if I turn the AC off. Um, oh yeah, so John Wick. John Wick. I went to see John Wick 4 in movie theater last week. There's a video up on the channel. It's just more about because I'm in Bangkok at the moment. There's this brilliant thing on a Wednesday. The movie theater close to me. It's a beautiful old theater, and it has a movie day, and all the movies are half price. So I got to go and see John Wick 4 for $3. Yeah, I count them. 1, 2, 3. Got to go and see it for $3 in this really nice theater. So I put a little video out. We took a boat to get to the movie theater. This was my journey to the movie theater. There's a river taxi. There's a river close to where I'm staying. So if I want to go anywhere, I kind of walk up the river path a little bit, jump on the boat. You take the boat for a couple of stops. You jump off the boat, and then there's a little red bus. And you jump on the little red bus, and that takes you up to the SkyTrain station. You jump on the SkyTrain, ride for one stop, and then there's a sky walk because it's so hot. You don't want to touch the sidewalk, and it's the hottest time of the year right now. It's 100 degrees when I went to see John Wick. So you walk across the skywalk, and that takes you straight into the movie theater. It's pretty cool. So I shot some video, so we just did the journey for this $3 movie, and I had a little walk back because it was cooler when I got out of the theater. It was cooler, so I took a little walk through the mall. There's this kind of wild shopping mall with all these trees in it, and then took a little walk along the sidewalk and had a chat about the movie. So hopefully you get to see a little bit of somewhere different. What I'm trying to do, I got some video I'm cutting up at the moment. Got a list of places to go: comic book stores, record stores, art galleries. A big list of geeky stuff to do. It's quite a geeky city here. So, just trying to do that at the moment. Just trying to bring something a little bit different, you know? I don't want to just be doing entertainment news and reviewing TV shows. I'm into so much more. You know, I love movies, but I love going to the cinemas. I love the old cinemas more than anything. Found some indie cinema, indie movie theaters in Bangkok. Be visiting those quite soon. Some pretty cool art galleries as well. Found some comic book stores, some anime exhibitions, and I believe Mrs. Apocalypse Tours has come up with a friend of hers in South America who's really into anime, and especially Konosemi and Dragon Ball. He habla español, and my Espanol isn't too great, so we're working on a interpreter, so we can get a conversation, a bit of a stream going together. Yeah, trying to work on these things at the moment. I have a ton of music stuff as well. I used to be a DJ, so there's a lot of music stuff I want to do. And they made weed legal in Thailand last summer. There's marijuana everywhere. So some really cool places to go and smoke a joint. So I want to try and get around some of those as well. Show you a bit of the town. Show you what's going on. Show you a bit of life, you know. Because, hey, it gets a bit boring if we're just sat in a studio talking about TV shows all the time. I do something a little bit more than that. Anyway, you have to excuse me for just a second because the cup's empty. I need some fuel. As I say, it's the morning here. And that was my first cup. So effortlessly slides off camera and back on again. And I have to keep the ice water. I have to keep the ice water away from the electrics because the ice melts. And then the condensation drips off the glass and starts frying the already struggling $300 Linux powered machine. Yeah. I use the Linux not because I'm any kind of supercomputer geek, it's because, you know, Windows suck. Bill Gates, you suck. I use a Ubuntu thing, surprisingly easy. If I can do it, anyone can. Working on a video at the moment, how to get Google and Windows and just alternative things that you can use, you know? I like to be alternative. I also like a full cup of coffee. Siam blend from Thailand. Got kick. Kicks like an elephant. Or chang, as they say out here. The word for elephant is chang. I'm not sure which tone it is. It's a tonal language. There's 3 tones. So there's high, low, and middle. And I'm from the north of England. We have 1 tone, and that's northern. I'm trying to understand these different tones at the moment. I got a Thai lesson next week. Let me put that back there. Yeah, I got a Thai lesson next week, so hopefully I'll improve a little bit. There's a vlog going out probably late today if I get time to edit it. Yeah, I just seen something. I was just looking at a little bit of news. I went for a number 2 before I went to the toilet just before the stream started. I thought I'd just get a few of them nerves out, you know. I had a bit of nerve blockage around about the bowel area, so I thought I'd just get them out, you know. And I just saw something. Christopher Eccleston. Where do you stand with Eccleston as a Doctor Who? Where do you stand? I think I used to think he was my favourite of the new Who's, but I don't know. It's a tough call. But anyway, Eccleston in an interview talking about his this was close to where I grew up actually. There's a beautiful old theatre called the Oldham Coliseum, and it's closed down. And there's a wonderful article with Christopher Eccleston talking about how he'd struggle and probably if he starts becoming an actor in the current day, how it probably wouldn't happen for him. It's a really beautiful interview that he's given, quite a passionate one. It's in the Guardian newspaper in the UK at the moment. I'll go and make something on it later on because it's a really beautiful interview that he's given. He speaks with a lot of passion about this theatre, about being a working class lad from Salford in Manchester. Big up to everyone in Salford. And I shouldn't say Salford in Manchester. I should say Salford, the city next to Manchester. Let's get that right. And how he just find it hard. He wouldn't have the opportunities now. It's a really great interview. I just took a read of it while I was letting some of them nerves out. I'll try and do something a bit more on it later. I don't like reading when I'm on these things because I got really bad peepers and it's kind of watching me squint at something isn't much fun. I got nothing prepared. We got this kind of browser window where I kind of go like I'm on the radio. But I got nothing prepared. I just jumped on this stream this morning because as I was saying before, I went to sleep and nobody was watching my videos. And I woke up this morning and a lot of you had started watching the videos and quite a few of you had been really nice and subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much. It absolutely means the world to me. I couldn't believe it. I woke up this morning. I used to kind of see like, you had 20 views while you were sleeping. And I woke up, it was about 3,000 views while I was sleeping. What? I had to check my eyes for a minute. You know, you just like, you got that sleep in your eyes and you just like, hang on, just clean my glasses a minute and What? Let's see, 3,000? Crikey. So, yeah. So that was on some spoilers for Picard. But the big thing I was talking about, the video I was putting together before I went to bed last night, was this Legacy. Star Trek Legacy. It's trending at the moment. It's constantly trending on Twitter. Join me on Twitter, by the way, at Apocalypse Tours. There's 45 of you so far. Reach out to me. If you're watching the stream, just reach out to me on Twitter. Let me work something out where I can kind of give something back to you for supporting me at the start. It's really important to me, that. Anyway, so Star Trek Legacy. So I got chatting with someone on Twitter, and I noticed this thing. The hashtag is going round, and there's a group of people who are sending tweets at Paramount Plus multiple times each day, demanding that they greenlight Star Trek Legacy with Terry Matalas as showrunner, because that's the most important thing. If they do a Star Trek Legacy, you gotta have Terry Matalas at the helm. You really do. This guy's been fantastic. He's been a revelation. He's really made Picard Season 3 fantastic. I've loved his interaction with the fans on social media. He comes across as a really good guy. 12 Monkeys is a great film, by the way, if you've never seen it. That was his big movie, right? And yeah, I think this guy's fantastic. So I really like anything where the people are speaking and the people are looking to make a change, because we the people, yeah, we make it all possible. If we don't watch the shows, they don't happen. And we've been served up a lot of mediocre, we've served up a lot of garbage. There's been a lot of rubbish put on our dinner table recently. There's a lot of half-baked, half-assed products been put out there for us. And I think it's great that the people are pulling together and starting to make a noise. So I want to throw a little bit of, I don't have much weight. Just look at me, I'm pretty skinny. Look at the subscriber count, it's almost as skinny as me. But what little you can do, if a lot of people do a little, it adds up to a lot. So I'm gonna make some videos and just try and raise a little bit of awareness on how this hashtag Star Trek Legacy at Paramount Plus is working and how it's taking shape. And some of the cool little things that people are doing online as well, such as posting really good pictures and suggesting people pitch story ideas and instructing people on how to tag it and at it correctly. I think it's really cool. I was chatting with a couple of people on Twitter yesterday. I'm going to try and reach out to them. One's got a YouTube channel, one's a gamer. I really liked his Twitter page. I was posting a few jokes and having a few laughs with him. I want to try and get some people involved. If you're watching right now and you've got a channel and you got an internet connection, you want to come on a stream with me, hit me up, please. I love interacting with anybody. Our opinions don't have to be the same. I'd be more happy having a conversation with someone who thinks completely different to me, because that's just interesting for me. But rather than me just sit here talking to myself as I was for 40 minutes at the start, and maybe just talking to you right now, yeah, why not come on with me? We can make this a two-way street, you know? Hang on. Yeah, you just gotta click sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta click. I just had to have a little bit of a click then. It's just checking this thing's still running. It still works. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get into some of that. Comasemi, ladies and gentlemen, Comasemi. Gotta touch his little head for luck. You gotta give his head a little rub for luck. It's actually it's a money box. It's got a little slot in the back of his head. I was using it as a swear box for a while. Might actually come back as a swear box next time something triggers me. Probably come back as a swear box. Anyway, what else? What else? I wrote a few notes. I did. All right. So what are we working at the moment? I got a House of the Dragon video I'm putting together at the moment. About season 2. Got a likely release month. Release time is there's a month that's been suggested when it could be released. There's a couple of clues and spoilers knocking around. Just putting that together at the moment. And this really nice vlog that I recorded yesterday, talking about my local area and where I live right now. Staying in Bangkok, Thailand, a very local area. There's no tourists here. It's mostly Thai people, mostly working people. It's a very working class area, which I relate to. I come from a very working class area. I speak a little bit of Thai. Got lessons. It's hopefully going to start getting better over the next couple of months before I have to leave. I'll probably start speaking it okay, and then it's time to leave. You know, I get short visas in this part of the world. I'll be on to the next place. I'm kind of out here. I became pretty much homeless in my own country, so I can afford it here. I know a lot of people come to this part of the world and like, well, you know, I was spending $800 a month on my apartment, and I got this crappy little box in some crappy little apartment building. I came out here to Southeast Asia, and look, I got my own villa with a private swimming pool. Not rolling that way. I'm kind of $125 a month for my rent. It's the one room, got no fridge. There's not a lot in here. There is a small video on the channel where I show you a bit of the room. I'll do a bit of a studio tour. I was watching a YouTube channel. There's this guy who does sports ball. He does the soccer ball, and I got a little bit of an interest in the soccer ball. I've been watching this channel because I'm watching other channels to see how they're doing things and just take ideas from them. And learn from them. Take ideas, learn, you know. And it's coincidence. He was showing his new studio setup. And all this guy does, he just sits there and talks about the soccer ball for half an hour in the morning with, you know, a few shirts and a sofa behind him. I'm looking at this setup and I'm thinking, what? And it's like this 3 monitors. It looks like air traffic control. He's got his microphone, his big lights shining down. You know, all this kind of cool little mixer and stuff. I'm like, what? And I just sat there looking at my $30 Amazon microphone, my fake Logitech camera, some fake from China, and my $300 laptop. And I was thinking, man, I do more editing and stuff on this than you're doing on that. So I'll show you my environment. This is a real ghetto studio. I love it. No fancy gimmicks, no fancy nothing here. We just got Commissemi. He's just keeping an eye on things, keeping things ticking over. Yeah. So happy if it's still Saturday, it's still April Fool's Day. Happy April Fool. Did you get fooled today? Did you fool anyone? Who's fooling who? That's what I want to know. And it's Sunday here now. So it's the 2nd of April. I've been on this for about an hour. I'm going to go for like another 15-20 minutes and then jump off because I got some videos to make today. And I'm wondering, if the construction is taking a day off today with it being Sunday, or if I'm gonna get very soon. Seems to seems to start about 11 in the morning, and once that kicks in, I need to get out of here, off out into the heat. I sat in a coffee shop yesterday. I finished reading Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson. I started reading it again recently. Had a couple of really long bus rides. Well, not really long, just a couple of annoying bus rides. 3 hours in each direction. And I started reading it again. I've not read it for quite a long time. I love Hunter Thompson. He's my favourite author. I just finished reading Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. If you've never seen the movie, watch the movie. The movie's fantastic. Johnny Depp is fantastic. He really plays Thompson just incredibly well. But if you've never read the book is just next level. The book is wonderful. Truly wonderful. So I sat in a nice coffee shop yesterday with my iced Americano, chocolate brownie with some nuts, and just kicked back and just read some Hunter Thompson. It was glorious. It was really nice. While all the construction work was going on in the room underneath me. And I got a nice fish off the market and came back. Beautiful barbecued fish for $1. Yeah, $1. This is fish. It was like that, freshly barbecued. A beautiful day it was yesterday. Who says you need money to be happy? I love this kind of cheap living. It's a good job I love this cheap living. That's all I can say. All right, so what have we done? We've done Picard. We've done Legacy. I mentioned Wick, didn't I? I mentioned the John Wick. John Wick 4. I told you about going to see John Wick 4. I didn't actually tell you what I thought of John Wick 4, did I? All right, we'll do that. So John Wick 4, I loved it. I'm a big fan of the John Wick movies. I kind of binged watched the first 3 just before I went to see it in the theatre, so I was really there. Had an edible on the way to make it a bit more intense. Yeah, I loved it. I thought Kane was fantastic. I was saying in the video that I put out, me and my father used to watch. Me and my father used to do martial arts. Actually, a black belt in Taekwondo. And when I was a kid, we used to do martial arts, and my father loves old kung fu movies. So when I was a kid, we'd get the VHS cassettes. We used to have this little green van that came around the housing area where we grew up. And it'd come on a Friday night, and we'd get a couple of 2 or 3 VHS tapes, and then the van would come back on Monday and collect them. And the kung fu movies were always super cheap. They were like usually 50 pence or £1 for the weekend. So we'd always get a couple of those, and quite often they'd be badly dubbed. Not just the Bruce Lee and the Jackie Chan films. We're talking the obscure kung fu movies, you know. And sometimes they'd just be subtitled. But yeah, I saw so many influences in this latest John Wick movie from a lot of the old 70s Chinese cinema. Especially Kane's character. I thought Kane was incredible. The blind man reminded me of so many of those old movies with the blind kung fu master who just had superior skills to anybody else. Just wonderful. He really made the movie for me. And I thought it was great balance because obviously Wick isn't the most verbally expressive person. And I just thought having Kane made that perfect balance. Really, absolutely fantastic. I loved that character so much. Don't want to give any spoilers away, but the ending, it's not over. It's not over, is it? Definitely not over. Yeah, it was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. Where does it stand with the other three movies? I know a lot of critics have kind of said, "Oh, it's the weaker one. It was too long." I thought the length of the movie was great. I didn't think it outstayed its welcome. I really loved the nod to Vanishing Point. The scene where they're in Paris and the car, I forget the make of the car. Vanishing Point's one of my favourite movies. And the DJ, the lady version of Kowalski from Vanishing Point, Kowalski. Also, the way I got onto Vanishing Point was there's a Scottish band called Primal Scream. And in the 90s, they brought out a track. I bought it on 12-inch single. Kowalski, Vanishing Point was the hook in this great tune. I remember going down to the local video store and asking, what's this movie? What's this Vanishing Point? And they didn't have a copy of it. And they couldn't get a copy of it. It took me years to get hold of Vanishing Point. And when I did, it was just meant so much to me. One of my favourite movies now. So seeing that nod in John Wick with the car, the colour swap the car from white to black. And Kowalski's a lady DJ now, but maybe some purists won't like that. But I just loved the fact that they nodded to what is probably the greatest road movie of all time. Easy Rider, Vanishing Point, the two greatest road movies of all time. Such beautifully shot movies, wonderful. Go watch them. I loved that. That made me so happy in the theatre. I walked out. I had a beaming smile on my face. I was so happy at the end of that movie. So, in my opinion, John Wick 4 did everything. It achieved its goals. You know, if you walk out of a movie theatre from ear to ear just grinning, man, they made a good movie. So, absolutely loved it. Really, really fantastic. And just the fact I got to see it in this really beautiful theatre for $3. Had a really nice day just getting there. Took the boat, the bus, the train. There's a video on the channel. I was talking about it before. I don't want to do too much repetition. This is one thing I'm trying to get used to on these streams because I don't know who's watching at the moment. I don't know if you've been watching for a long time, if you're dipping in, if you're dipping out. It's the first time I'm doing this. So until I get used to it, I'm really conscious about repeating myself. Repetition, fatal. I did a bit of comedy for a while. Never repeat yourself. It gets boring. But I was talking for about 40 minutes at the start and nobody was watching. And then you're trying to repeat yourself and... anyway. First world problems. What can I say? But yeah, I'm getting into this now. I was a bit nervous at the start. As I was saying at the start, I've been a DJ. I've been in clubs. I've done the music thing. It used to terrify me. I've done a bit of open mic comedy. It terrifies me. I've been on the radio. That didn't terrify me because no one could see me. And this just had me a little bit nervous today. Got a bit of nervous energy I'm sort of shaking out. It's kind of weird. Gonna have to do a few of these to get into it. Reminds me when I started making the videos. I was really nervous on those at first. A lot of nervous energy. I noticed after a few weeks, it's just more chilled making them. Did a lot of CBD oil and took a lot of THC edibles to get there, but, you know, do what you can, right? Yeah, THC, it's not there to be abused, it's there to help. It took me a long time to learn that. My chest tells another story. My chest tells the story of a guy that could smoke an ounce a week quite easily. But, you know, you learn with time. You learn with time. Anyway, so, yeah, that was the Wick. John Wick. John Wick was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. I really must fix the loop on my TV, because that blank spot at the end's really annoying me. And the Kung Fu movies didn't come out right. I'm going to make a new reel for it. We'll get that done. Alright. What else was on my list of things to talk about? What did I put on the thumbnail, actually? What's on the thumbnail? Let me try and open a thumbnail. I remember what I'm supposed to be talking about. I'm over 40. Smoked a lot of ganja. Oh yeah, Picard Legacy, yeah. Check. Smoked some Wick in the house. Check. Life in Asia, we've been dipping in and out of that as I've been going on. I want to try out to the market. Like, there's this really cool market. It's open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it's inside, but it's a vintage market. And there's just loads of really cool old stuff knocking around. It's like there's an original 80s Pac-Man arcade machine and a big Captain America, which isn't one of the new ones. It's one of the OG ones. It's one of the originals. There's loads of really cool old stuff like that knocking around. There's an amazing t-shirt store in there with all the vintage band t-shirts from the 90s. Really cool, like Pearl Jam and Nirvana t-shirts. It's just full of vintage stuff. Wherever you go, there's something interesting to look at, you know? I want to go down there later with the camera and take a bit of a walk around, because if you're anything like me, you just love that stuff. Just gets really full. You got to choose the right time of day to go down there, because it's turned into a real tourist destination. And on Sunday, crazy busy. I was there last Monday, actually, when the market was closed, but the doors were open. You could still get in. I was off to the train station to get a train ticket with someone. I was taking Mrs. Apocalypse tours to the train. He was off up to Laos for a week or two. Beautiful country, Laos. And yeah, most of the stalls were closed, but you could still walk around the building. Like the Pac-Man machine was switched off and everything, but you could still walk around the building. And it was quiet. Saw maybe 2 or 3 people in there. There's this great little place next door where you can get really cheap food. I might go up there on a quiet day just to get a little bit of film, so you can get a bit of a feel for the place without there being too many people. You know, I was shooting some film in a market the other day, and there's people. It's an inside market, and there's people riding motorcycles through it, and there's just hundreds of people everywhere. So you're trying to film and you're trying to watch where you're going so you don't get hit by a motorcycle. Like a motorcycle inside. Yeah. Imagine like a small mall. Right? And you're walking along, just walking through the mall. And boom, someone's behind you on a motorcycle trying to get through. Yeah. So you try to film and you're trying to keep an eye on everything that's going on around you at the same time. It's like, I've not got the best of eyes at the best of times, but it's like, it's a full sensory overload experience. It's hard enough without a camera in your hand. So, gonna get around these markets a bit more and shoot a bit more film, because they're really interesting. Saw some, even in this real tourist market, I saw some of the greatest copyright infringements you could imagine. There was some amazing Disney copyright infringements, very creative. I was really impressed. This is a great part of the world for finding dodgy copyright infringements on items of clothing. It really is. I got a pair of jockey shorts. You know, you get the Calvin Klein undies. I saw some Galvin Klein. Instead of Calvin with a C, it was Galvin with a G. It's just like, you gotta buy that because it's funny. So I got some Galvin Klein boxers. Me undies are Galvin. Me undies. I think Bill Burr used to do that as a bit on his podcast. Me undies. They smell the pee and sometimes you. Me undies. Is that an old Bill Burr thing? Am I imagining that, or did I just come up with something creative and amusing then, or did I plagiarize quite heavily? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Smoked a lot of weed. Did a lot of psychedelics. It's hard to remember what I thought of and what I heard years ago. It's hard to differentiate between the two sometimes. All right. Wow. Really, we're on. I'm trying to work out. Maybe someone can help me with this. I'm trying to work out if this means someone's watching right now, or if this means someone was watching in the past. I think it means someone was watching in the past. Alright, so how long have I been going for? I really don't know. Anyway, I've run out of stuff to talk about. So I'm gonna call it a day right there. This is the first stream. This was basically me just trying to check that this stuff worked. And I think I've been sat here talking for about an hour and a half. So I enjoyed it. It was nice. Hopefully some more of you can come along in the future. Maybe send me a message. As I say, if you want to come on one of these things with me and have a chat, more than happy to. I'd love it, in fact. I got a lot to talk about. I managed to do a lot of things. Alright. Thanks for watching. This is Apocalypse Tours, and I'll see you in the next one. We out. How do I stop this thing? I just push this big button that says stop stream, and then it just stops, right? Whatever you do, don't flick onto Pornhub until you've double checked that it's off, right? Or is that how you get famous these days?